It's Under the Lights on the CW. Brought to you by Dairy Queen, Alta Federal Credit Union, Heat 9 Associates, Palshay Chevrolet, and Alti Sudlink.
Hey, good evening, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us tonight under the lights here on the CW. For this week's edition, our special Week 3 edition of the show, I am Johnny Condon.
And I'm Tina Wynn. And Johnny, clearly we saw some Friday Night Lights action tonight, but you know what else we saw? A full moon on Friday the 13th.
Ooh, so you're saying just because it's the Friday the 13th show, this thing's going to go swimmingly, right? No problems. Everything in the tech's going to go great in the control room. So other than that, so you can say a prayer for us on the other side of the television
But despite all that, the fun started a little early this week, and you were out there for John Tyler in Longview yesterday on them both being on a pretty big stage. How was that?
It was an unbelievable game, and we're going to get there. But the one thing I need to tell you, when those two teams beat together, just how beautiful the jerseys look together. The fans are out. You got the Longview green and yellow, and you got the John Tyler black and blue, and it's just the clash of those two big-time teams. I mean, ESPN2 was here, as we all knew. They were broadcasting the game live. So anytime the worldwide leader,
Texas.
Absolutely. So anytime the worldwide leader comes out to East Texas, we get our little slice of national spotlight. We'll look forward to that. And we're going to get to that. But we had a couple other big games tonight, and there was one I know you were at earlier at our 6 o'clock news. You were out at Eagle Stadium for the launch of their brand new football palace that they got up there.
It was beautiful, yes. Good stuff happening out there. All right, we've got highlights and final scores from all the big games happening in East Texas tonight. So let's go ahead and kick things off with our game of the week. Everybody loves a good rivalry match, right? So here we are, Van Vandals and the Lindale Eagles. Lindale defense wanting to take control early as Jane Moffitt's pass is intercepted by Lindale's Eric Williams. Eagles couldn't get it rolling, though. Jane Moffitt swing pass out to Javante Thomas. Instead of running, he tosses back to Moffitt, who goes down the sideline for the big pickup. Nice. All right, now check this out. Moffitt, back to pass, gets lit up by Lindale's Matthew Grady. He does get the pass off. It hits Javante Thomas. He will get 1 foot down. Touchdown, 7-0 Van. Lindale bounces back downfield. Brayson Campbell hits Dylan Worrell, who strolls into the end zone. 7-7 tied game. Van takes over now at the half as Moffitt calls his own number for the 3-yard touchdown run. 14-7 Van. Van again. Moffitt hits his running back Marcus Orozco for the 35-yard touchdown run. 20-7 Van at the half, and hey, they will extend their win streak in this rivalry to 4 games. 34-7 finals. All the Van for this one.
They had to spoil all the fun in the new stadium. But speaking of spoiling fun, let's check out the Longview Lobos. They are at Rose Stadium yesterday at Thursday Night Lights, ESPN game like we talked about. And there's Mr. Primetime himself, Haynes King, the Texas A&M Aggie commit, under center here. And things didn't start off as well as you might think. Back to pass, looking for his receiver. Instead, he's going to find a kid who we might see in a couple years from now, because that's Keaton Crawford, number 24 for the John Tyler Lions. He is penciled in and verbally committed to the University of Texas to play for head coach Tom Herman. And right there, make it Aggies 0, Longhorns 1. Later on, another bad ball from King. Very uncharacteristic. That one's picked off by number 1, Isaiah Johnson, the quarterback playing defense, Mr. Ironman. But you didn't think you were going to keep King off the scoreboard for that long, right? Here he takes the ball 28 yards to his left. He'll scamper into the end zone, and the Longview Lobos, they draw first blood. It's 7-0 Lobos. Later on, it's going to be a steady dosage of Cam Meredith. He gets into the touchdown for 9 yards, and why not blow it open? With under 90 seconds to go in the first half, Meredith, 30 yards, juking and jiving in his way in. And that was just in the first half. The Lobos would go on to add a heck of a lot more, and they go into John Tyler. They go into Earl Campbell Field at Rose Stadium, and they get the big win, 42-0. Ooh. Back to Friday night action. The Bullard Panthers getting ready to take on the Hallsville Bobcats. And these are two teams that know how to hit. And right there, head coach Scott Calloway of Bullard looking to get his guys out to an early start. First quarter, that's exactly what they would do. Bullard, they go to their do-it-all superstar, Bryson Luscombe. The scat back gets the ball down first and goal to go. And 2 plays later, it's Tristan Shoemake, the quarterback on the sneak, and it's 6-0 Panthers. And they're looking, for a little bit more. It's a quick break, ambush, onside kick. Hallsville can't get possession. It's like a pinball bouncing over there, and the Panthers, they fall on it and retain possession. Now second quarter, Bullard trying to turn that onside kick into points, going for it on 4th down. And Shoemake is going to be sacked by Nolan Sermons. Turnover on downs, and now Hallsville trying to do it Bullard could not do and take advantage on the turnover. Running back Trey Fulton lowering his shoulder, bringing the boom. He goes all Herschel Walker on his way into the end zone to tie things up at 6 apiece. Hallsville, they take this one by a field goal, 16-13.
All right, we're going to head to Marshall. Carthage taking on the Mavericks. They are in need of a win right now. Carthage off to a good start. 15-yard run by junior Mason Courtney right here. Then a long toss in the back into the end zone. And it is caught right here over the shoulder by receiver Craig McNew. Nice. Little celebratory dance right here. Oh yeah, oh yeah. All right, now Carthage able to get the ball back, but hey, look this. It is a tough one. Tough fight as Casey Hurd sheds his blockers to get into the backfield for a sack. Carthage continues to push downfield as Kelvonte Dixon picks up a huge gain right here. And then Dixon again on the next play with a deep end zone grab despite two defenders on him. And Scott Surratt and his Bulldogs will run away with this one with the score of 38-6.
Now let's check in one of the most underrated games of the weekend. Kilgore taking on Pine Tree as they run through the banner. Opening drive of the game, Pine Tree's quarterback DJ Freeman hands it off to Tyler Sheffield, who jukes and jives his way through the Bulldogs defense in his way to the end zone. And the Pirates, they draw first blood. They take a 7-0 lead. Next Pine Tree possession, Freeman drops back, looks downfield, and finds Gabriel Adams. He'll get dragged down to the 20-yard line, and just a few plays later, it's Freeman again. This time, Keelan Turner makes the grab in the end zone of the Pirates. Look at that. They're up 14-0, and they got to do push-ups when they score. Following the kickoff, it's the Bulldogs. They wake up as Dalton Michaela shows play action, step back, and throws a bomb to Bobby Owens. He gets tripped up and dives into the end zone, add on that extra point, and it's Pirates 14, Bulldogs 7. This one was wild. This went into double overtime, and the Kilgore Bulldogs, they beat Pine Tree by a score of, get this, 64-62. Let's go close to the border now. Hugh Springs taking on Wascom. Wildcats get the ball first. Normally they're a running team, but here they're going to air it out a little. Josh Reeves going to find Caden Head beyond the sticks to pick up the first down. Later on the drive, it's a third down, and it's a pitch to DJ Feaster. He's gunning for that edge, but Colin Cook drags him down to the turf. Wascom misses their ensuing field goal attempt. So Mustangs now with the ball. They're a run-heavy attack team as well, and Isaiah Bolden shows the fans why. He breaks a long one down the left side. 68 yards later, he's into the end zone. Hugh Springs leads it 7 to zippity-doo-dah-day. That would be a goose egg. Moving to the second quarter. The Mustangs back on offense. It looks like a standard pitch play, but Isaiah Bolden goes airborne for the halfback pass. The back judge looks to his buddy. Yeah, they're going to rule that Tyson Dangle got a foot down for the score, and the Mustangs, they get fancy there. Wascom head coach Whitney Nealing not happy with that explanation of the play later on. Trevon Kennedy, he had a big night as well as Hugh Springs moves to 3-0 with a 35-21 victory. Well, now we're going to switch our attention to Jacksonville. It's no doubt that it was an emotional season for the Indians. You know, the tribe, they're back in the Tomato Bowl, and, you know, they're coming off a season that didn't see too much winning down 69 South.
But after suffering a difficult loss in Week 1 to Carthage, the Indians are coming off a huge victory over Palestine, and they look to carry over that momentum tonight as they hosted Henderson. All right, both teams at 1-1. Second half right here, Henderson quarterback Caleb Medford hands it off to Kevin Fields, and he just digs his heels into the turf to muscle in a TD, 27-37. But this might be the biggest play of the game. Jacksonville quarterback Patrick Clatter fakes the handoff and connects with Jalen Freeney. He makes the defender miss, gets a nice block from Corey McCullen, and turns on the Jets, leaves everybody in the rear. Now on their 10, quarterback Caleb Medford takes this one for himself. A little juke here, spin move there, has a good 40 yards, then just fumbles it. The ball is out. Jacksonville gets the ball, but loses the game big time here, Johnny. 67-40.
67-40, how about that? Now, don't go anywhere because we're going to have way more under the lights action. We'll be right back. Hey everybody, welcome back. Well, this week's East Texas Professional Credit Union Player of the Week had an outstanding game in week 2. I got more on that player, and let me tell you, he set a school record last week when he got a 99-yard touchdown, and here it is.
We're talking Red Sox, Yankees, Magic Bird, or Michigan, Ohio State. You know that your most bitter rival on the field can bring out the best of you during competition. Well, here in East Texas, we have our own version of Michigan, Ohio State. It's the Battle of Lake Tyler, and it pits the Chapel Hill Bulldogs up against the White House Wildcats.
I feel like that's probably our biggest rival, honestly, just because it's always the same game every year.
And it's games like this that are talked about for years, and it's plays like the one White House senior wide receiver Skylar Trevino made that will go down in the record books for a generation.
It was on the 1-yard line, so I wasn't really expecting to get it on a pass, but my quarterback, Caden Casey, he had trust in me, so I had to go up and get it for him and make a play.
And it was more than just a play, it was a school record. Trevino high-pointed the pass from quarterback Caden Casey and ran 99 yards all the way not only into the end zone, but into the history books.
Didn't know we were going to throw the ball down there on the 1-yard line, and I know Coach called for a run, and they, Caden Casey, our quarterback, kind of gave him the hot route over there, and again, Skylar went up, made a play, and made it all the way down the field for a touchdown. And he's somebody that we can lean on in big situations like that in the games.
In the first quarter, the Cats attempted to turn an early Bulldog fumble into points, and head coach Marcus Gold went to his playmaker.
We've been preparing that play all week in practice. We knew it was going to be wide open, and sure enough, it was. It was just a great play call, right up the middle.
Last year, we graduated 4 senior receivers, and we made that transition from Skylar moving from safety to the receiver position, because ever since I've been watching him as a freshman, he's had those playmaker abilities.
As far as playing at the next level, Skylar's trading in his football helmet for a baseball glove, and he's committed to play baseball for the University of Houston. And his coach knows the Cougars, well, they're getting one special kid on and off the field.
I think he's just a big part of this White House ISD program. He's committed to Houston in baseball. He's somebody that loves the game of football and is just passionate about it. So somebody that shows up every day, works their tail off, and is really committed to your program with the abilities of Skylar is always helpful in the locker room.
Individual accomplishments aside, Skylar only has one thing on his mind, and that's to just keep winning.
We just trying to win every week. Just work hard, do everything we can to just keep winning. That's the main thing, just keep winning.
Keep winning indeed. Johnny, what impressed you the most about Skylar Trevino?
Well, something about him is like you go to a school like White House and you got names like Dylan Cantrell and of course Patrick Mahomes, the NFL MVP, and the fact that he was able to etch his name into the record books of that school, that's incredibly impressive. And something else pretty impressive, I think you had a cool stat about him.
He's also a 2-sport athlete, and he's committed to play baseball at the University of Houston. So we're looking at a future second baseman for the Cougs.
Absolutely. But now looking into the future right now, we're going to check out New Diana taking on Alto. This might be one of the better games tonight. Now, let's check out quarterback Gabe Shields. Look at that right arm. Is going to connect with Damian Rodriguez. 30-yard play on 3rd and 8, but nothing but woes for the team for the rest of the night. Boggled punt. New Diana's kickers. Knee hits the ground. 1st and goal to go. Alto's quarterback Harmon West. He hands it off to Aaron Skinner for the touchdown. Later, more Harmon West steps back and airs it out the ball. Ooh, look at that. Jay Poet finds it in the end zone. Also, Alto would run away with this one, folks. Look at the Yellow Jackets. They sting hard, 50-0.
All right, to Clyde Perkins Stadium, where the Grace Cougars are taking on Dallas Paris Episcopal. First quarter on 1st and 8 on the Cougars' 48-yard line. Here's a look at the number 2 ranked quarterback in the class of 2021, Preston Stone. He'll connect with Foster Mallory as he is taken down at the 2-yard line, and that would set the Panthers up right here. Stone looks, a 2-yard touchdown pass to Jai Moore. Parish Episcopal goes up 7-0, 4:51 to go in the first. 3rd and 11. Stone feeling the pressure right here as he will scramble and launches this one to Evan Green for the 31-yard touchdown pass. Panthers up by 14. Hey, fun fact, Johnny, that is the grandson of Mean Joe Green.
Gonna get some Coca-Colas here. Let's do the show.
All right, final score for this would be 49-0, all Panthers here. And don't you go anywhere, because when we get back, we've got more Friday Night Football highlights, and you'll hear from our Week 4 Whataburger Coach of the Week. Stay with us. Hey everybody, welcome back to Under the Lights. I'm Tina Nguyen. If you are no stranger to East Texas high school football, you are bound to have heard the name Traylor. Most likely Jeff Traylor, who spent 15 seasons as the Gilmer Buckeyes head coach. And it wouldn't be too long before younger brother Kurt would follow in his big brother's footsteps. Hey, it's safe to say that coaching is a family matter for the Traylors. In our Week 4 Whataburger Coach of the Week, Kurt Traylor shares more on that with us.
When it comes to coaching in the Traylor family, one can be quick to note that it is a family affair. For Kurt Traylor, he often draws back to his time learning from his big brother, Jeff.
Well, I've always wanted to be a head coach, and I've always prepared myself. And Jeff put me in situations while I was there at Gilmer to get me ready to go to be a head coach.
Gilmer, Texas was where it started for the Traylors. It's where Kurt learned to build roots. It's also a place that springboarded him to the next best thing.
It's hard to leave Gilmer because it's my hometown. I mean, my mom's there, my wife's parents are there. That's all my kids know is Gilmer Buckeye, or knew is Gilmer Buckeyes football. You know, and it was tough. I mean, it was a tough deal. But when you work for someone like Dr. Marty Crawford or Greg Priest or Dr. Dan Crawford, I mean, when I interviewed for that job, I could just tell their commitment to being not average. They wanted to be great. And that's what I want to be. I don't want to go to some place that they got an average mentality.
The standard for Traylor to perform at a high level can be traced back to his days as a younger coach under some East Texas legends.
Danny was an unbelievable mentor, a guy that just truly loved kids and did everything he could for kids. And Coach Turner and Wayne Coleman really taught me as a young coach how to coach. You know, how to do everything. If you want to be successful, you know, be successful at the little things. How you do anything is how you do one thing is how you do anything.
We often find that it's not the wins or losses that count the most. Instead, it's the impact that happens beyond the field. It's
been just a blessing. You know, the days when I have bad days, when I'm beating up myself for things, I think about my kids. I think about the Jamal Liggins. I think about the Elliot Davidsons. I think about the kids that show up every day and invest in this program, because that's what we're here for.
Yeah, well, Johnny, Kurt Traylor and his Red Raiders off to a pretty great start so far.
Unbelievable.
2-0.
You know, obviously John Tyler gets a ton of hype, but look at those Red Raiders. They got a big date tomorrow night with Nacogdoches.
Nacogdoches, yep.
But somebody else who had a big night tonight would be the Spring Hill Panthers. So let's get you out taking on their rival, White Oak. Quarterback Gage White drops the back. Look at that beautiful 25-yard touchdown to sophomore wide receiver Jay Rockwell. And the Panthers, they are on the board. They missed the extra point, so it's 6-0. Later on, Gage White pulls the snap and finds sophomore running back Eric Morrow, getting the young guys involved early for the 15-yard gain. Panthers still lead 6-0 in the first quarter. White Oak quarterback Stephen Thomas, he's going to sling it. Oh, and it's going to be picked off right to the senior defensive back, Ethan Tidwell. Now later on, Spring Hill, it's going to be Gage White again. He is the playmaker for Spring Hill this season. He's going to hand it off to freshman running back Devontae Powers, who barrels his way into the end zone for the second score of the night. After a successful two-point conversion, the Panthers would lead 14-0 in the second quarter, and then there goes Gage White again. He can do it both in the air and on the ground. That jet sweep there is a 23-yard carry before being brought down just short of the 50-yard line. And look at that. Spring Hill, they get a huge win over the rival, 27-0. And right now, at this very moment, you can watch the next installment of our CBS 19 original docuseries, Pride, All Hail Spring Hill, brought to you by East Texas Professional Credit Union and John Frazier Allstate. This week's episode is currently up online only at CBS 19 and the CBS 19 YouTube page.
All right, Johnny, let's head out to ARP. Full moon on Friday the 13th in ARP, Texas. Not a good omen for the home team. We'll see. All right, starting third quarter, down 28-0. Quarterback Jonathan Blackwell winds up and finds Trent Jones for the big gain. But the drive stalls. Bulldog quarterback Kalen Thomas hands to D. Black as he shoots towards the sideline, cuts downfield and turns on the afterburners. He cruises 57 yards into the end zone. Jefferson 35, ARP 0. Check out some fans right here. ARP again with the ball this time. Brandon Holloway takes the ball, makes a couple nice moves, uses a stiff arm right here for 41-yard gain. But again, Tigers are unable to score.
We currently at halftime, the most recent score we have is 28-0 Jefferson as they head into the second half. So I'm no wagering man, but I'd like to think that Jefferson, they took care of the Tigers. So after the break, we're going to take a look at some more scores from across East Texas. So don't go anywhere. You're watching Under the Lights on the CW. Hey everybody, welcome back. So the show's not over quite yet. You know, we've been bringing you some of the best East Texas high school football action from across this region of the country. And I'll tell you right now, Tina, the one thing I have to know a couple weeks into this thing, they're not letting weather, they're not letting any excuses bother them, because we're seeing some unbelievable offensive plays. Like, just go back to the Kilgore game when we saw Thomas's one-handed grab. We saw last night when Wascom was taking on who did Wascom play last night? Hugh Springs. We saw that unbelievable jump pass from the halfback. So, I mean, offense is on full display. So, we're not done yet. We have some other scores. We're going to whip around East Texas, and we're going to let Tina start it off with Brook Hill and Huntington.
Yeah, both teams looking for a win. Brook Hill will take this one 64-34, and then Gilmer at Paris. Well, Paris, the home team, will take this one 37-20. Bishop Gorman taking on Tenaha. It was all Tenaha tonight, Johnny. 54-0. And then Del Estado at Lufkin. Lufkin will take this one 61-7.
Yeah, Lufkin, they're obviously off their loss to Longview. I think they're just going to roll the rest of the season. So, White House and Melissa. White House was 1-1, obviously coming off a huge win against their rival in Chapel Hill in the Battle of Lake Tyler, but they follow Melissa by a score of 36-14. Rusk and Palestine, that's a sneaky good game as well this week. Palestine, they're not phased after their loss to Jacksonville last week. They bounce back. They get the 32-14 victory. Let's continue to go around East Texas. That's where Chapel Hill, wow, Argyle, 62-7.
Really good Argyle.
Guess who picked Chapel Hill in the paper last week? Oh, I got egg on my face. In Brownsboro, Sunnyvale, you know, somewhere west of East Texas, closer on I-20, closer to Dallas. Sunnyvale in Brownsboro. My goodness, a lot of points put up on that one, 57-41.
All right, we will continue this with Canton and Mount Vernon. It's all Mount Vernon tonight, 57-0. And then Maybank at Wills Point, and kind of close one, but Maybank would take this one 17-14. Gladewater at Center. Gladewater 48-28 final, and then Sabine at Harleton. Sabine 48-14.
Let's continue to go around East Texas. Look at those Mineola team. My goodness, 40-3. Farmersdale never had a chance. Harmony and West Rusk. Two of these teams might be the hardest name to say in all of East Texas. Tongue twister there. West Rusk, however, they're putting together a little bit of a program. How about the Raiders? Harmony coming off a big district title last year, and they've had a rough go of it in 2019. They fall to the Raiders by a score of 48-22. How about, Winsboro? They blanked Paris Chisholm by a score of 44-0. And then, putting up goose eggs, Honey Grove. Unfortunately, Alba Golden, not the way you want to start at home. They lose 36-0. Tina, what else is going on?
All right, let's continue this train. Union Grove, Scotty LeMans at Quitman tonight, and Union Grove would take this one 33-20. And then Elkhart at Troop. Elkhart 42-14 final for that one.
Winona in Elysian Fields. Well, this was a close game. We have Winona, big victory over Elysian Fields. They take this one by a score of 41-34. New Boston, you know, they've gotten better year in and year out since I've been here. That's a program that has improved, but Dangerfield, a little too dangerous for them, like Danger's the middle name.
I see what you did there.
They got the victory. Hopefully I read sports better than my joke telling is, because Dangerfield, they get the win over New Boston by a score of 26-12.
All right, in Ore City at Frankston tonight. Frankston will take this one 29-26. Redwater at Paul Pewitt. 46-0. Paul Pewitt right there.
That's a big one there.
Big Sandy at Timpson. Timpson would take it 43-31. And then Overton at Carlisle.
Oh, my goodness.
Carlisle for that one, Johnny. 76-0.
Oh, my goodness. Hope you had the over there. Lindale Kildare, they fall to DeKalb by a score of 57-14. And Cayuga, my favorite name to say in all of East Texas. They fall to Mount Enterprise. Cayuga, I feel like that should be an old-fashioned horn at Disneyland. Mount Enterprise, they take care of them 36-14. Let's keep I think those are all the scores we had
Yeah.
tonight. So we got about a minute left, Tina. And
sure.
one question I want to ask you as we look forward to tomorrow night, because of course, Tina is of course the weekend sports anchor. You can watch her every single Saturday and Sunday at 10 o'clock.
How nice, how nice.
And she's done a fantastic job. I just loosened up for you through Monday through Friday. But the question is, going into tomorrow, we get a big game on Saturday
sure.
between Tyler Lee and Nacogdoches. The Dragons, they're 0-2. They're looking for their first win. Tyler Lee riding high, 2-0 with 2 huge wins over Marshall and rival John Tyler. What's your prediction for that one?
I think Tyler Lee, and for them coming off a disappointing 2-8 season, they're having a great start to the season. Their run game is really strong. So
especially Ben Liggins and especially that offensive line. They got a lot of young guys, but guess what? They make it push. So we're looking forward to that. You're going to have highlights of that tomorrow night, correct?
for sure, absolutely.
Awesome. So you're going to want to catch Tina tomorrow night at 10 o'clock, and you're going to catch the two of us, same place, same time, next week here on the CW, 11 o'clock. Don't miss it. Thanks so much. Have a great night, everybody.